The hardest working people I know are broke, not lazy, not unmotivated, not lacking in dedication. They work 50, 60, 70 hours a week, show up early, stay late, give everything to their jobs, and they're one unexpected expense away from financial catastrophe. Because somewhere between our grandparents' generation and ours, the fundamental equation changed. Hard work used to guarantee stability. Now it guarantees exhaustion with no promise of security. And if you're working harder than ever, but feeling less stable than ever, you're not failing. You're experiencing the death of the American work ethic's biggest lie. The promise was simple. Work hard, play by the rules, be loyal to your employer, and you'll have stability. A pension, health care, a house, the ability to support a family on one income, and a secure retirement. That contract is dead. It's been dead for decades. But nobody told the workers, so millions of people are still operating under rules that no longer apply, wondering why their hard work isn't producing the results it promised. I've been a financial consultant for 15 years and run multiple businesses for 8 years, managing hundreds of employees. And I can tell you with absolute certainty, hard work is now the minimum requirement for survival, not the path to stability. It's table stakes. Everyone works hard. The question isn't whether you work hard. It's whether you work smart, whether you own assets, whether you have leverage, whether you're building equity or just trading time for money that barely covers your expenses. Let me show you exactly why the hard work equation broke. First, productivity exploded, but wages didn't follow. Since 1979, worker productivity increased 72%. Wages, they increased 12%. That means workers are producing 6 times more value than they're being compensated for. You're working harder, producing more, and getting paid roughly the same while your employer and shareholders capture all that additional value. Hard work is being rewarded, just not you. Someone else is getting wealthy from your hard work. I consulted with a warehouse manager in Ohio who worked 60-hour weeks for 15 years. Loyal, dedicated, never missed a day. The company's profits tripled during his tenure. His salary increased 18% total, barely keeping pace with inflation. When he asked for a significant raise reflecting his contribution, they told him he was already at market rate. Translation: your hard work made us millions, but we'll pay you the minimum the market allows. That's not a reward system. That's exploitation disguised as employment. Change begins with understanding. If you want to grow beyond average financial thinking, subscribe and learn what truly builds wealth. Second reason, hard work doesn't guarantee stability. The death of company loyalty. Previous generations worked for one company for 30, 40 years. The company invested in them, trained them, promoted them, and provided pensions. Today, the average worker changes jobs every 4 years. Companies have zero loyalty to employees. You're a cost to be minimized, not an asset to be developed. And if you're loyal to them while they're disloyal to you, you're just working hard to make yourself expendable. Here's the reality that stings. Being a good employee is often a terrible financial strategy. The hardest workers get the most responsibility with minimal additional compensation. They're too valuable in their current role to promote, too reliable to ever leave. So they work harder and harder for incremental raises, while their less dedicated colleagues who job hop every 2 years increase their income 20 to 30% with each move. I have a friend in Vancouver who was Employee of the Year 3 times at her company, worked incredibly hard, got 3% raises annually. Her colleague, who was mediocre at best, left for a competitor and got a 40% raise. My friend finally left, got a 35% increase, and realized her loyalty had cost her hundreds of thousands in lost income over a decade. Hard work without strategic thinking is just expensive loyalty. Third factor, the shift from defined benefit to defined contribution retirement. Your grandparents had pensions, guaranteed income for life funded by their employer. You have a 401k, a gamble on the market funded by you with maybe some employer match. They worked hard and got guaranteed stability. You work hard and get to hopefully save enough while investing wisely enough to maybe retire if the market cooperates and you don't have major medical expenses. Same hard work, completely different security. Fourth reason, essential costs have exploded while wages stagnated. Housing, healthcare, education, the 3 pillars of middle-class stability, have all increased exponentially faster than wages. You can work as hard as your parents did and still not afford what they could. A single income used to buy a house, support a family, pay for college, and save for retirement. Today, two incomes barely cover rent, childcare, student loans, and healthcare premiums. Same work ethic, impossible math. I gave a lecture in Toronto about why hard work isn't enough anymore, and someone in the audience got angry. Are you saying we shouldn't work hard? No. I'm saying working hard is necessary but no longer sufficient. You also need to own assets, build equity, create leverage, develop high-value skills, and understand that trading time for money has a ceiling that's far below what you need for actual stability. Now I run multiple businesses, I manage hundreds of employees, and producing content like this, researching economic shifts, analyzing why traditional work ethics fail in modern economies, creating videos that help people understand that their exhaustion isn't producing security, takes substantial time and resources. We do this because millions of people are working themselves to death under a system that no longer rewards hard work with stability. If you're ready to understand why your hard work isn't working and what actually builds security now, subscribe to this channel. It helps us continue this mission, and it tells me you're someone who wants solutions, not just validation of your exhaustion. I respond to subscribers first because you're invested in transformation. Fifth factor, automation and outsourcing commoditized labor. If your hard work can be replicated by a machine or someone overseas for a fraction of the cost, your hard work has limited value. The market doesn't care how hard you work, it cares how replaceable you are. Hard work in a commoditized role just makes you an expensive version of something that can be done cheaper elsewhere. I worked with an accountant making $75,000 a year, working incredibly hard doing tax returns, dedicated professional. But software and outsourcing were doing the same work for a fraction of the cost. Her hard work was being devalued not because she wasn't good, but because the market no longer valued that particular hard work. She had to pivot to advisory work where her expertise couldn't be replicated. Same work ethic, completely different application. Sixth reason, the gig economy eliminated stability while demanding maximum effort. You're not an employee, you're a contractor. You work just as hard, but with zero benefits, no job security, and complete income volatility. Hard work is now just keeping you in the game, not advancing you. Companies get maximum effort for minimum commitment. You bear all the risk while they capture the value. Here's what actually guarantees stability now: ownership, equity, leverage, and strategic positioning. Working hard for someone else's business builds their stability, not yours. Working hard on assets you own, businesses, real estate, intellectual property, investments, builds your stability. The equation changed. Your grandparents could trade labor for security. You can't. You have to trade labor for capital, then make the capital work for you. Let me give you the harsh comparison. Person A works 60 hours a week as an employee, making $80,000 a year, hardest worker in the office. After 20 years of hard work, they have some 401k savings and are still dependent on their employer. Person B works 40 hours building a business, making $60,000 a year initially. After 20 years, they own an asset worth millions generating passive income. Both worked hard. One has temporary income. One has permanent wealth. I know a woman in Mexico City who was a brutally hard worker, marketing manager, late nights, weekends, everything. Making decent money, but zero stability. She started freelancing on the side, built an agency, worked the same brutal hours, but for herself. 5 years later, she owns a 7-figure business that runs without her constant presence. Same work ethic, completely different outcome, because she owned what she built. Here's what you need to understand. Hard work is valuable, but it has to be applied strategically. Working hard in a system designed to extract your value while providing minimal security is just sophisticated slavery with a salary. You're working hard, but someone else is building wealth from your effort. The new equation is this: hard work plus ownership equals stability. Hard work plus strategic positioning equals stability. Hard work plus equity equals stability. Hard work alone equals exhaustion and vulnerability. So what do you do? First, accept that being the hardest worker won't save you. Second, start building ownership, side business, investments, skills that can't be commoditized. Third, stop being loyal to employers who aren't loyal to you. Fourth, recognize that you're not working towards stability anymore. You're working to generate capital that you then deploy into assets that create actual stability. The hardest part is accepting that everything you were taught about work was a lie, not by your parents. They believed it because it was true for them. But the system changed while the advice stayed the same. And now millions of people are working themselves to death following obsolete instructions. I want to hear from you. Are you working harder than ever, but feeling less stable than ever? What's your industry? How many hours a week do you work? And do you feel like it's building stability or just maintaining survival? Drop honest answers in the comments and tell me where you're watching from. Before you leave, watch the video in the description about building assets while working your job. It's the practical bridge from hard work to actual security. Remember, working harder won't save you. Working smarter on things you own will. The equation changed. Time to change your strategy.